Hi guys, my name is Chris and you're watching Wrestling Today. So let's start with WWE star Baron Corbin would love to see Batista return to the company for a small angle. The Animal last competed at WrestleMania 35 in a no-holds-barred match against his former mentor Triple H. Both former world champions laid their career on the line, and the loss meant that Batista was done with his in-ring career. After the match, he made it clear that he was done with wrestling and effectively retired from the business. Speaking with Chris Van Vliet of Insight this week, Corbin mentioned that given the success with The Rock and John Cena, Batista coming back to WWE would be great as well. He mentioned that the strike has given the wrestler-turned-movie stars some respite where they can return to the ring for some cameos. Yeah, and now you've got Batista. Like whispering, hey, man, I got nothing to do right now, you know. Part of me is like, hey, guys, come on, we're all trying to work here. Just because you guys are taking a little breather, obviously not by choice. But you guys are, you know, then they're going, hey, let's go. Let's go back to this thing that's so amazing. I'm going, you rascals, you know but it's amazing for the business. What do you think about Corbin's story? The next story is about Kurt Angle was able to share the ring with dozens of opponents throughout his career, but there are some who stand above the rest. Angle, billed as the WWF's most decorated real athlete, made his in-ring debut in 1999 and would continue to wrestle in various promotions until retiring in 2019. In a new video from Dr. Bo Hightower, the Olympian reflected on his all-time favorite opponents. He said, I really loved working with Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and The Rock. They were exciting and they were just so good on the microphone. They were my biggest accomplishments. Those guys were the biggest names. Don't get me wrong, also, when I had the opportunity to wrestle Hulk Hogan, that was incredible. Brock Lesnar was a great one. We had a lot of chemistry. Chris Benoit was another great one. Eddie Guerrero, and Shawn Michaels, those guys were the best. Rey Mysterio was another great one. I really enjoyed being with him. Angle is one of the very few wrestlers to have stuck to his retirement as he has not competed since his WrestleMania 35 loss to Baron Corbin in 2019. Who do you think is Kurt Angle's best opponent? The final story is about CJ Perry said what the Bobby Lashley story taught me is scandal sells. So it doesn't matter, it still sells. People might hate it, we still made WWE a lot of money. Like our YouTube videos made them a lot of money. This is a business at the end of the day. If it doesn't translate into sales, if it doesn't translate into subscriptions, ticket sales, all of that, viewership, then who cares? I'm just hired talent. We're storytellers. We all know there's been a ton of affairs and love triangles. On the genre of stories that market well, it's crazy. It's crazy. Relationship stories really sell. I know that's not necessarily AEW's story style over there, and I think that's great how it differs. But everyone can relate to that. Most people have all been in love at some point, heartache, maybe broken up with, backstabbed. So I think that's all very relatable. I think it's also really relatable, more gender fluidity right now in this time. Especially with millennials and Gen Z specifically. So I think I really resonated with that story. When they pitched it to me, I said, oh, this totally makes sense. I resonated with it. So I found it a little offensive that everyone found it so offensive. On if WWE could have run further with the storyline, totally. I wish they would have followed up more on it, but again, I'm not the showrunner, and that's not my job. I would love to be their showrunner in the future one day. Or maybe I'll be Larry, the digital producer, in AEW. I want to produce and I love that stuff. Again, I take it as I'm hired. What do you think about this story? Thanks guys for watching and please subscribe for fast wrestling news and updates.